This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
And a pleasant good evening, live from Southwest Oklahoma Brewery, where we are on 2nd Street. It is our weekly coaches show. Each and every Tuesday, we want you to come join us. We're going to talk with coaches and players about week 9, believe it or not, 10 weeks in the regular season, and then we're going to talk about playoffs and playoff possibilities from some of our teams that are represented here tonight. So it's a great opportunity for you to join us, whether it's be for dinner, maybe some light food fare. But we have Michelle. She is our host of this each and every week, and we always get a little kind of a preview of what's going on here. And I want to say, first, follow them on Facebook because they've got so many different things coming up, and she was telling me all the different things they've got for the holidays after Halloween is done. So just connect with them on their Facebook page, and that way you'll kind of know. You'll already be in the know, so do that first and foremost. But we've been talking this for about a month now, but Halloween is fast approaching. It's at the end of this week. I know we've got Friday night football games, and some of those will be up. Some of us are playing Thursday, but we got Friday games, and you got something for the adults on Friday, something for the kids on Saturday. So tell us what Halloween's going to look like.
Yeah, so we will have a costume contest for all those adults on Friday night. So I know there's trick-or-treating and all that stuff going on, but once you get those kiddos off into bed, come on by and wear your costume and win a little prize.
Okay, I like that. And then you do have something for the kids on Saturday, too.
Yes, on Saturday we're going to have trick-or-treating here on 2nd Street. There's going to be a lot of we're going to actually have a car show. People are going to have their cars here. It's going to be like a streetwide celebration. And then at SOB here, we're going to have the kids' costume contest, and then we'll have little treat bags and everything here, too.
That's great. Now, you also talk about holidays coming up, so, I mean, there's an opportunity that you can basically connect with you. There's catering, there's parties that you can do. You're also selling your great barbecue by the pound. You got carry-out. So if you've got something planned, you've already had someone call up for a November kind of request of, hey, can you accommodate this? The answer is yes, so tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we are trying to expand our horizons, and so especially for the holiday season here, if you are hosting any parties and you need us any meat, any extra meat from us, smoked meats, just give us a call. We're now going to be selling it by the pound. We can do any sides, meats that you want. It can pick it up. Delivery, we still haven't quite gotten into that game, but I'm sure we can make something work. So it's something new for us to try, so we're definitely willing to, talk it over and come up with a solution.
Well, Michelle from Southwest Oklahoma Brewery, she also gave me the tour last week. I've been kind of asking. I said, I've never been inside a brewery before. As she's very educational. It took me through the whole process from the grains to the separation of it to the soaking of it and then the storing of it. And, my eyes were like, wow. I said, that is really a neat process. But the only one in town, too, by the way, that you have here, and that's why they set this up, is they have the brewery aspect of it. They're decorated for Halloween, but, from the pretzels, which is the small fare, to the last week I had the loaded baked potato. Now, I know you've got a great employee that gives me all the great suggestions, and he says, some people put mac and cheese in it, and I know you like that because it makes it creamier, but that's really a baked potato, because if you put macaroni and cheese and then your barbecued meats on it and all the rest of that stuff, that is full. That is filling.
It's good, and it's usually 2 meals. So, yeah.
All right, so Southwest Oklahoma Brewery is your place. If you've never experienced it on 2nd Street, it's a must. You got to put that on the bucket list, cross it off, and say, hey, we've been there, want to try them out for a while. They've got so much going on, the Halloween stuff. We talked about the holidays. And then you know what? The backyard has been filled up. We had some guys already playing cornhole earlier, but, it's really a nice setting. It's always in complete shade. I know we're going to transition into kind of the cooler months, but just remember them in the spring and the summer because this is a perfect layout. out where you can really spread out and be outside. You can be inside or even really under the covered patio area too. So if you really want those examples.
Exactly.
All right.
Perfect.
All right, so Southwest Oklahoma Brewery is where we're located on 2nd Street. Coach's show will continue. We've got the Walters Blue Devils. They're going to be up first with a great win that we need to talk about from last week. We'll do that right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
All right, back here at 2nd Street, you can tell that the weather has changed, and it must be cold up on the hill because Coach is wearing a sweatshirt. You had to pull that out. Was that in the closet or in the drawer?
It was in the closet, but the older I get, the colder I am. So, you know.
Hey, before I forget, because I forgot last time, birthdays. You know, you have a birthday during the football season. Your father is having a birthday today, and and I already asked Coach Griffin, said, well, what did you get your father? Did you already get to that point of, did you get him a gift, or is just take him out to dinner, or what do you do for Coach Manning?
Well, I haven't done anything yet, but we'll be getting together sometime soon, I'm sure.
I'll he kind of knows this time of year, you know.
Yeah.
I'm saying like you and him both probably have to say, well, we don't really get to celebrate our birthdays. You know, if our birthdays were June or July, it would be okay. You know, so. All right. Well, Coach, first and foremost, a tough battle. We kind of knew it. The complexity of, first off, we'll just talk about the weather changes, you know, that kind of made this push which pushed almost entire state into a Thursday frenzy. Only a few stayed on Friday, and actually one moved to Saturday. One of our teams, Altus, had to play Guthrie in a natural grass quagmire of mud. It was really kind of interesting to see football played in the rain and the elements and the mud, but you had to go up Thursday. So what is your takeaways from this game this past week?
Well, you know, I think we were ready to play. Our kids played really hard, and always appreciate that about our guys. You know, we just didn't play well enough to win. I don't think we played bad. We had some guys that, you know, the two guys with me right here had great games, and overall, you know, we played really hard. We just came up short, and that's, you know, one of those deals that you roll with it. You know, I just told them after the game, you know, the year that we won the state championship, we did not win our district, and so you never know kind of what that's going to look like in the playoffs, what side of the bracket you're going to be in. I mean, we may look back at it later and think, you know, maybe that was a good thing. So just got to roll with it and go back to work, go back to practice, and try to get better.
Anything, any specific takeaway of the game itself that you'd like to change or had to, you know, I know that it's a game of ebbs and flows, you know, and things like that, but anything when you broke down film that you really wanted to concentrate on?
You know, I think, you know, special teams wise, I thought we were pretty solid with the exception of our punt team.
Yeah.
We're struggling to protect that. We didn't get one blocked, but we could have very easily.
And you had two PATs blocked.
And so there's some stuff special teams wise we got to clean up. Defensively, you know, we're still struggling at just getting in our right gaps. They had a few bad plays, and when you look at it, you know, it's just one guy that's not where he's supposed to be. And you know, offensively, you know, I think we played really well. I thought we ran the ball really well. Avon did a great job. Had one of his better games as a Highlander, and you know, Kenyon came in, stepped in for Adam when Adam kind of had a hamstring strain and was just, you know, ended up being defense only. and had the best game he's had in his career. So, we did some good things, and we're just going to try to build on those.
Okay, we're going to save the highlight of kind of looking at Southeast, which is the next opponent, but it is another Thursday. Boy, I mean, I think that our almost entire season has been played on Thursday night. It just seems that way. There's been a lot more Thursdays than normal. But this one's a special one, so we'll talk a little bit of breakdown. So in case you did not know, back at MacArthur for the second time this year at the home stands. You already talked about that first experience, but now it's going to be senior night. So talk about not only having this moment there at that location, but talk a little bit about your senior class.
Oh, man, these guys probably don't realize it yet. It won't hit them until, about 6:30. But senior night's always kind of an emotional deal. They spend so much time with us. They work so hard. We've got such a close bond. It's kind of the reality that we're not going to have these guys around very much longer, and it's always bittersweet. Proud of them and glad they've made it all this way and made it through. But also, kind of a little sad. But it's a great senior class, guys that have not only been on the field and been producing for us for 4 years, but just their attitude, their effort, their work ethic. It's just one of the best classes we've ever had.
Well, and then having it there, another historical moment. I know that Coach Puschke was talking to the players saying, hey, the first touchdown, this is history, the first to do this, all of that. But now last to kind of finish where they've been practicing all year to kind of say, even if you wouldn't make playoffs, that's going to be back at Cameron. So this will actually be their first and last experience for the seniors on this stadium. And what, explain that atmosphere again you had a little takeaway from the last time you had it there of the differences of Cameron. The crowd's a little bit closer to the environment there, and that gets a little bit louder. Does that kind of help you and fuel you?
I think so. It's just it's a little bit more intimate. The stands are packed, and we do a pretty good job at Cameron, but we don't fill it up like we do our home stands. And so just having the packed crowd and the people lining the fence kind of gives it that small school vibe and atmosphere. So it's really cool. I think we had our first one and we kind of know what to expect, and maybe this next one we can just kind of enjoy it. Yeah, you kind of do that and then build from there, as far as when it comes to the future. We'll kind of end out with talking about X's and O's about this week's opponent, because still kind of staring up in their position of trying to fight for something in that district is Southeast. But we'll get to our players. So give us your name, give us your grade, and what position you play.
My name is Avon Lawton. I'm in the 12th grade, and I play quarterback.
Yeah, quarterback for 3 years. I know I didn't have to be introduced to you, but I think some that are jumping on may not know. But what's the senior season been like for you? I mean, just think about when you came in as a sophomore, as a starter, from where you were then to where you are now. How have you grown in that role over these 3 years?
When I first came in, everybody seemed like huge. Like grown men.
Everyone's bigger than you,
but
yeah.
Now it's it's just fun. I've had a blast my senior year so far. I take it real serious, wins, losses, but I've been trying to make the most of it.
Well, I know you like to throw the ball, and you do good at that. And we talk about the guy next to you that had a sensational standout game of the time to have it. But you also run the ball too, and so. Is it kind of designed for your run, or do you kind of check down to the point where, okay, there's nothing there and I take it, and then you're off to the races? How does that work out when you do get to select the runs?
Well, when they're called, I get real happy, and sometimes I suggest them a lot to the coach.
Do you suggest? I was wondering. I always talk about receivers campaigning for it. I didn't know that you campaign for runs, so you do that.
Yes, sir. A lot of the time I don't get it, but still, I'm happy when I do.
Well, at least you're going through with it. Don't tell me that I campaigned for it, they said no, and then I ran it anyway. Please don't do that. I've got some histories of some things that happened that way. But how has the senior season been for you?
It's been great so far, getting to play out with the guys I've known since middle school.
Yeah.
It's just been a blast.
Well, take us through last week. As a player, just not only the switch-up day but the delay. It seemed like we didn't really get a lick of rain. It was very little. It was lightning off in the distance. It was kind of more up in Yukon and Mustang, but it was just close enough where, they put that timer up and they restart the timer. And I think it must have been 4 or 5 times. I think it got down to 6 minutes one time, the lightning strike, and then back to 20. What is it like as a player when you're ready to go, a big district matchup like this, and you're stuck in a locker room?
It sucked, but I wouldn't really say it threw me personally off. I mean, I was ready. I was excited when they moved the game up to Thursday. I was ready to go out there and play, perform. And the delay, it was like an adrenaline stopper, but when we got the stuff on the field, it was all right back up from there. Okay,
and what is it going to mean to you this Thursday for senior night? You just talked about some of these players you've been playing with since middle school, and Coach says it probably won't hit you until about 6:30 when you come across that field and get announced. But talk about what you anticipate that to look like on Thursday.
I mean, I want to have another great game on the home field, maybe make more history on the home field. Hopefully I can get the ball to some of my guys that can make history on the field that night too. And it just means a lot to me. I'm excited.
All right, so I already told you what the goal was in these next 2 weeks. We want to make sure that we get a home playoff game, so you guys got to win out here. So you get these next 2 in front of you, and so you can control your own destiny in that way. And, yes, it's not mathematically out of the question for a first-place 3-way tie, which I hate, by the way, because then it comes down to district points. What would have to happen is Newcastle would lose to Bishop McGuinness, you'd beat Bishop McGuinness, and everybody's got one district loss like that. So, I've seen those. I've even seen them 3-way tie for 4th place, which is really a nightmare, and some of those districts can have that. But thank you so much for being here, and we'll pass the mic now to, I guess, a really breakout individual. I was kind of talking to you a little bit about before we started this broadcast, but give us your name, grade, and what position you play.
I'm Kenyon Gabriel. I'm a senior at Mac, and I play wide receiver.
Wide receiver you are. In fact, I think that you probably illustrated the best example of next man up that I've ever seen. I mean, it's just, if you have both Josh Rushing and Adam Austin both kind of have something where they go out, and that's noticeably, the team notices it, the fans notice it, and then all of a sudden we're throwing to a number 10, and I kind of had to briefly look, for a second or two, who's number 10 on my roster, because it's kind of like, you've come out of nowhere, and the one stretch out catch, and you can go watch on the highlight stuff that we put together with that game a couple of days ago on our Facebook page. It's on YouTube. That's the one that really made the impression. And then the next thing, you weren't even done. It was that catch, and then it was a touchdown catch in double coverage, by the way, and Avon shouldn't have thrown that, but he did anyway, and you got it. And then another one. So it was 2, and I said, wow. I said, so take us through the excitement of being a part of all of that. Even I know it was a loss, but you personally, how exciting was that?
It was pretty exciting. From my first games, I didn't really have any catches because I don't know what happened. But then once I got that moment and realized that it's a big game.
Well, I'm sure that you're going to be utilized now in these next couple of weeks, and then hopefully on into the playoff run too, is that if Avon's got that kind of weapons, we already know the tandem of stable of running backs, which teams are going to try to stop the run. But now if they say, okay, you got Josh Rushing, you got Gabriel, if you got Adam Austin, I don't even know what a defense is going to do with 3 receiver weapons like that and 2 to possibly 3 running backs and a quarterback that can also make plays. That's a pretty good way to kind of, they always say you got to play your best ball at this time of the season. I think you guys are kind of peaking at that, where you're really starting to figure it out, even when coming after that loss. What did you kind of want to do going forward to get a little better at what you're doing right now?
I really want to work on my route running because it's not the best.
All right.
It does well, but it's just I want to perfect it.
All right. What's your favorite food?
I really like seafood.
Okay. Any specific? I mean, crab, shrimp, lobster.
I really like shrimp, but I like the seafood boils from Seafood Party.
Okay. All right. So you even picked a place. And what's your favorite subject in school?
I would have to say math.
Okay, wow. Well, that's not my subject there. Okay, and what's senior night going to mean to you when you're going to cross over for the last time and play with these guys and walk across the practice field, which is also where you're going to play on Thursday night?
It's going to be a night where I get to spend with my seniors, knowing it's the last time. It's going to be one of our last times we're going to get to play with each other on that home field.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of that. Coach, we're going to leave it with you. This is a matchup of some of these inner city schools. We kind of know what's but you got to hats off to Southeast. I mean, they're hanging in with right now a 4th seed right now. I mean, because Duncan's behind them. They got a couple of games to sort out, but something to play for, and that's not usually their position they've been in. So what do you expect from them coming in on Thursday?
Well, Southeast always has athletes. Last year they had a safety receiver that just gave us fits, and they've always got athletes, and they're the kind of team that if we're not doing what we're supposed to, they can make you look bad. So we're going to have to go out and take care of business, and it's not really a game that we're like one of our other inner city games earlier this year that we knew it was going to be over really quick. But they've got athletes that can make plays.
All right, I'm going to quickly just go over the district standings for those of you who don't know, and we're going to follow 5A2. And the reason I have that pulled up is that, this is where you're going to cross over in district play for playoffs. So 1 through 4, just a side note, and I got a question I'm going to throw at you here. This is interesting because you and I have had a lot of these conversations, and it has to do with the Altus and Guthrie matchup. And I know you have a lot of respect for both coaches, both Coach Reed, Coach Beebe, who you know well, and then it's interesting how that game played out. I want to ask you, because I've asked you before in overtime games, you're the away team, you go for 2. They win the coin toss. They elect to take the ball first. They score on the first play of the game, and then they go for 2. And I'm going, my mind is rattled. I said, why do you think his thinking process was like that, to not take defense first, to score first, and then going for the 2?
It's hard for me to say because I don't know what they had going on. I don't know,
I
don't know what their kicker situation is.
Sure.
Was their snapper hurt? I mean, you don't know. I mean, all things equal, I like going defense first.
Yes.
That way, because I know what I have to do.
Unless I got that wrong. Unless someone says, correct me, no, they didn't win that. But I thought that they won it and elected to take it. But
I think that's right.
Yeah, okay. And they scored on the first, just kind of like us with our defensive stop in our overtime game. And then I said, hey, let's just kick it right now on first down and get done with it. But, I'm anxious to get that concluded. But I wanted to ask you. But anyway, you can see Carl Albert, Guthrie, with their win over Altus, puts them in the battle for the district, and that will be decided this week on Friday. Carl Albert and Guthrie will play. Altus will play Lawton High, and then they'll finish out playing Carl Albert. So, Altus is not done. But I was really kind of impressed to see Altus to where they were because of who they were going to play. And going to Guthrie on a Saturday afternoon and that rain stuff, pretty impressive. But you got Bishop McGinnis, still in first with Newcastle. They will decide that between those two this coming Friday. You can catch that on the network. And then we're sitting in third. Hopefully try to get that second position. You want to get that hosting the first playoff game, and then go from there. And like you said, not saying that this is history, but 2014, that's exactly what happened. You lost to Ardmore and finished second in the district, and off you went. So, yeah. All right, MacArthur Highlanders, we got Walters, we got Cash, and we've got Lawton High all in the house. We'll take a timeout and be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network. All right, we're back here at Southwest Oklahoma Brewery, lickety split. Here we go, right, with all coaches and players. We're talking Week 9 situations. Only 2 more regular seasons left, and got the Walters Blue Devils. Another win under your belt. You got to take us through this. As when we started these shows out, we knew your graduation rate of like the 17 kids that were graduating. You had a lot of young guys. You had young guys that had never played before or played in quite some time. You've taken that crew. You've got them to believe, and your stride right now is pretty good. You got some momentum behind you. So talk a little bit about that and last week's play.
Well, I've said it up here every week that I've been here that, we've improved every week. And when you have inexperienced players, you're going to take some lumps early, and we have come so far. Stratford's coach the other night was telling me before the game, he said, y'all don't even look like the same team that you were in week 1 against Hilton. So, and I truly believe that. There's some of those teams that we played earlier in the year that I would have liked to have played this last week. I think that would have been a different outcome.
Yeah.
But, my hat's off to our kids. They come out there every week. They work hard. They've bought into what we do and what we ask them to do, and they're just a great group of kids, and they're fun to coach. A lot of people that they just get so wrapped up in the record, but I'm telling people all the time that this group of kids, they're fun to be around. I look forward to practice every day. I look forward to going to battle with them every Friday night in the ball games, and like I said, just the improvement that we've made over the past 4 or 5 weeks has just been phenomenal, and I've been really impressed with them.
And you'll have a lot of them coming back with a little bit more experience. They've kind of grown in that. What does it mean for another coach to tell you, just like what he said, to say he notices the difference and wants to compliment you of how you brought this program from where it was in week 1?
Well, it always means something to hear it from other coaches that know what they're talking about, because you get so much criticism from people that don't know what they're talking about.
Ain't that the truth? It's called armchair quarterbacks,
that's
all right?
Exactly
okay,
right.
I got you. All right.
To hear your colleagues that
Yes.
give you those compliments, it means a lot. But like I said, it's a testament to our kids. It's not really anything that I'm doing. It's that these kids have bought in. They love each other. They play hard for each other. They practice hard for each other. And like I said, they're just a joy to coach.
All right, we're going to save the last part of this week's opponent and what we look at. We'll get some of your players on. So give us your name, grade, and what position you play. It's on.
Braylon Turner. I'm a junior, number 20, and I'm a running back.
Okay, running back. So how has this junior season been for you?
It's not what I wanted, but, it's going pretty well so far.
Well, you still have room for improvement, not only to close out this year, but next year. How would you like to improve it at running back?
Gain more speed, get bigger, and
it's always bigger, faster, stronger, right? So what do you have to do? More weight room, more dragging the tire? What is it that
Yeah, just working hard all off season, and then going into summer pride, going hard in summer pride, and then carry on next year.
Now, I'm not going to recommend this, but I saw in the program the other day about a running back that ties. You know how you strap on some of those weights? You see him do a complete soccer goal. I don't forget how much that thing weighs, but he straps that on and runs that just for his leg strength, So I'm talking about, do anything that you can get bigger, stronger, faster. But what are you looking forward to in these next couple of weeks? What do you want to accomplish as a team and for you as an individual?
Really just want to try to make playoffs and just get better every week for my team and all the seniors not be able to play next year, and just me for myself just play harder for the seniors.
What does it mean for you to be a Walters Blue Devil?
It means everything. I came here in my 8th grade year, and I moved away. I went back to Eisenhower, but then I came back because I just loved it so much.
Wow. So talks about the community and the program and everything else like that. Okay, you got a partner next to you, so give us your name, grade, and what position you play.
My name is Heston Walkway. I'm a junior, and I play fullback and DN.
Okay, so you get a little both-way action. What does it mean to have such an entourage? I always appreciate Walters not only brings players, but they bring a whole truckload. In fact, they all got their sweats out. They were over there playing cornhole, but they're here, even though they're not on the broadcast, they're here to support you. What does that speak of your community and the team?
Our community just wants to come and support the team.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about how you would like to improve and get better, and what side do you like more? Do you like the offense or defensive side?
I'm a defense kind of guy.
Yeah, because you like to hit people. Is this the honest answer that we're going to get?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. It's pretty physical in your district too. One thing I noticed that you can say what you want about smaller school size, but you come with big hits. So there's no doubt, and Coach likes that, and so probably likes that about you. What's your favorite food?
I like pancakes.
Pancakes. All right. Is that a defensive reference, or you really like pancakes?
I do like pancakes.
Okay. And just regular buttermilk pancakes, or
yeah.
Where's the best place to get them?
Waffle House.
Oh, really? Okay. And we don't have one of those here, but kind of load that up. Are you a massive do you put anything on it, like butter and syrup, or just that, or do you put any other stuff on it?
Just syrup.
Why is there so many laughs about them? Do they knew that you like pancakes? Is that something that follows you around?
Yeah, sure.
I did not know this ahead of time, so no one baited me into this. What is your favorite subject in school?
Science.
Okay, science. I thought you were going to say lunch, but that's okay. No.
I thought he'd say U.S. history. But
okay, you got your history coach, right? Your teacher right here. So, okay, well, best of luck the rest of this way, guys, and I appreciate you coming. Coach, give us a breakdown, X's and O's, what you expect for this week, and what's it going to take for Walter's Blue Devils win?
Well, Frederick has a really good quarterback. He's been throwing the ball really well. Their skill kids are pretty fast, and they play good football. Their line's improving each and every week, and we feel like up front that there's a good matchup between us and them, and, we're going to try to take advantage of some of that. But, like I said, their skill kids are really good. I just feel like if we'll go out there and play football like we did last Thursday, that we'll give ourselves a chance for a victory. Our defense had some takeaways last week that were really key to winning that ball game. And like I said, you just see us improving every week. So, mathematically we're still in the playoff hunt. But I'm not wanting the kids to worry about that. I want us just to play as hard as we can to finish out the season, and we'll let the chips fall where they may. And like I said, Frederick, I'm hoping they're looking forward to next week instead of this week.
A trap game is what you say. Yeah.
And
Walters, we got this.
There's so many factors that are going to go in our favor. I feel like Friday night. So, to me, the pressure's on them to come play good, clean football because we're going to give them all they want. Yeah,
okay, that's all you can expect. Because the district has changed a little bit, you can always say Walters and Apache. That was always a rivalry. Do you think this has really become the rivalry because of your close proximity of you and Frederick?
It's hard to say because the districts and stuff change
so much.
And we're looking at the possibility of us going back down to Apache and them's level next year into A2. I mean, we're going to be right on that bubble. So there's a really good chance we're going to drop down to that. So, it's kind of hard to get a consistent rivalry opponent. I have scheduled Comanche next year for a non-district game, and that's really close, and a lot of the kids know each other. So when I was here before, that was kind of a rivalry, and I'm going to hope to rekindle that and bring that back because it's good for both communities.
I was going to ask you this because, they held off because normally this would already be solidified when you talk about districts. Is that going to be in the winter meeting? Is that going to be right before basketball? When are they going to decide that?
Well, they pulled the ADM from the October numbers. They said they're going to do that. And then we have a coaches clinic in January, and we're going to go there, and they'll have, they've got a process that they have to approved through the superintendents of the actual ADM, who's going to go to 8-man, who's going to petition for 8-man football, and there's just so many factors that go into that. We'll find out in the January coaches clinic, and they told us to be ready to drop districts when we get there too. So it's going to be kind of a really wham and bam type thing. So it'll be, like I said, we're hoping obviously we'll drop down, but we'll do what we have to do. Yeah,
whoever the opponent is on the schedule that you've got. All right. Walters Blue Devils, they take on Frederick on Friday. Should be a great one, and you'll be able to tune into that. We have got Cash, and we've got Lawton High still yet to talk to, and we'll do that right after this timeout on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Arvest Bank, we believe home ownership makes families and communities stronger. Whether it's your first home, a fixer-upper, or your forever home, we're here to help put home ownership within reach. Because everyone deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank, we believe.
All right, we are back here at 2nd Street. It's the Southwest Oklahoma Brewery, where this has been our home every Tuesday at 6 o'clock for great food, great barbecue. Jalapeno habanero sausage is my favorite. I had the loaded baked potato last week. I did not have it with mac and cheese, but you can get it really loaded if you want that. So there are several different designs and ways, but you can choose the barbecue you want. You can choose the sides that you want. All of that homemade here. Just in-house, and I love that. In-house barbecue and so much more at Southwest Oklahoma Brewery. All right, well, we're going to get down to it. The Lawton High Wolverines, you and I talked about this kind of stretch of the season. You say, oh, okay, great. We just moved the game from Friday to Thursday because of weather concern, and, oh, by the way, we got to prepare for Carl Albert. You know. Right. So your takeaways from that game last week?
For the most part, I think we played all right, man. Obviously the score didn't reflect very well, but we had guys up and down the field. We schemed them up pretty good. We made good plays. We made a punt a few times. You know what I mean? It's kind of a little bit better, but we just didn't make the plays that they needed to be made, and they did. So that was pretty much it. They're a good team. You can't make mistakes against good teams. That's the best team, so you can't make mistakes against them at all. So yeah. Every time we made a mistake, they capitalized on it, but. We moved the ball a little bit early. You know what I mean? We had opportunities. We just wasn't able to capitalize.
What have you learned most about this team? You talked about your personnel and trying to plug people in. This is your second year, and it's a little bit off from the first shock of your first season. And I know you head coached elsewhere, so you weren't like novice to this. Right. But what have you learned about this year's squad that's going to also catapult you into next year?
I just keep showing up. That's the best thing I love about these dudes. They show up every day. We keep getting more people on the team, which is crazy. You know what I mean? We add people late in the season, but
do we even have any pads or helmets left?
Listen, we don't. We definitely do not. Like we send a couple guys to wrestle in basketball. Some of those JV guys a little early, but the ones we need, we kept them. But there was, I think we suited up 93 kids at John Marshall this year. You know what I mean? So we 3 buses to games. Multiple times, you know what I mean, and we just keep adding people. So,
what do you think that is? What's the it's not like you can't say, well, everybody loves a winner, like they're undefeated and everybody wants to go on board. Like you see, that's not the storyline in this. Why is there so much gravitation that even after the season has started, that people want to get involved in this program?
I think the biggest thing is that we always lead with love. Like all of our coaches, we take care of our guys. You know what I mean? And even from the starters to the guys who probably never touch the field, we take care of everybody. I think some of the kids see that, and they kind of they gravitate toward that more than they gravitate toward the football part. The football is just the extra. We're using that to kind of win the kids. You know what I mean? And then when we get the kids, then we got to keep them. So we make sure we take care of them. Our booster club does a great job of feeding them every 3 times a week, and we there for people when they need us. We help them with math homework and. Help them write essays and all kind of stuff. We're doing everything in there, man. But I think for some kids that are looking for, a little bit more than just sports. I think we provide that for a lot of kids, and I think that's part of the reason why you see our team keep growing.
All right, well, we've got a couple of things to talk about. We're going to hold off until I get some of these players on because you and Coach Reed have a good relationship. You're friends, too, and that's going to be hard to coach against your friend. You're going to have to go to his place, and after an exciting game, but a loss for them, and I was glued to it. I was up in the city, actually out in my car. There was OU game on the road on the radio, but I was watching the stream of Altus Guthrie the whole entire way. I got home the same way, and I said, well, I kind of put the Sooners on the back burner and started watching this one because there was so much drama involved in it. So we'll talk about that matchup, and you've got a great Coach Reed story to tell me, and I've waited a whole week. He says, you want to hear it now? I said, no, save it. Save it. We'll do it for next week. So let's get to some of your players. Give us your name, grade, and what position you play.
My name is Braden Burrell. I play tight end, and I'm class of 26.
All right, so what's this year been like for you? You kind of got a seesaw back and forth of, things that happened, things that should have happened, things that didn't go right. So how would you describe this year's team and how things have gone?
We got the players like this year. It's just we got to execute more. So I feel like this year has been good. It's just our execution level is a little low.
Do you think you kind of got a little bit more discipline? Like Coach was always worried about the penalties and stuff like that over the time passage. Have you guys got that together where you kind of got that behind you now?
Yeah, we got the penalties. We cut down penalties every week. We still get penalties, and those are the ones that hurt us. So we get them at crucial times.
What does it mean for you to be a Wolverine?
I get to wear the Wolverine on my shirt, so pride.
Yeah. What do you like? You've seen a couple of changes, like uniform stuff, and I'll go to the helmet. It's like reverse. It was always red with the black, and that was, the black watch and all the rest of that stuff. You have the Wolverine emblem, just like the University of Michigan, with that. But the white on red, it really looks good. I've seen some of our film takes. I said, I keep going back to it. I said, that's sharp. Do you like some of the new? Look at what Coach is bringing right here. He's wearing that, all of that stuff. You like what he's brought with that new style?
Yeah, I just want to see what he's going to bring next year because he always brings something better once you graduate.
Going to surprise you.
Every senior says that. Every senior says that.
Yeah, I said, man, he had to wait till after I graduated. Then he comes out and gets the really good stuff. Right.
Weight room when we graduate.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. All right. You got a player next to you. Give us your name, grade, and what position you play.
My name's Keisha Rosado. I'm a running back, class of 2027.
Okay, all right. So you got another year yet coming after this. How would you like to improve at running back?
Follow your pullers.
Follow my pullers.
Oh, okay, all right.
I know you said that, yeah.
Okay, all right. So I think he's heard that somewhere before. Okay, so, does that mean if Coach is telling you that, are you an improv guy? Do you kind of like to, okay, that's where the play is designed to go, but I've seen somewhere else and it's really not there, or maybe sometimes you think it's there. Maybe there's a little cutback move there.
That's me 100%.
I didn't even know, but I just kind of guessing. If Coach is telling you to do that, trust the system. How about that? You just buy into that. It's there for you. You don't need to be a Barry Sanders. And if you knew about Barry Sanders, who I beloved and was from my beloved Detroit Lions, he had no offensive line. He had nowhere to go. He had no blockers, so he couldn't follow blockers. So don't be a Barry Sanders. You can don't have to improvise. Right. Just follow the path. All right. What's your favorite food? Steak. How do you like it cooked?
Well done.
Oh, well done. That's really rare. It's always medium rare. No, my wife and you and my wife will get along well. She likes it. Yeah. She likes it done. I always say if it's done, you need A1. So I mean, at that time, it needs a little help. That and a sharp knife. It's just teasing. She's heard this all the time. And in fact, we had to learn early on in my. Oh, yeah, Barry Sanders. I like that. Yeah. Coach Joe had to show his Barry Sanders photo. Wish I could zoom up to that. That's pretty nice. Yeah. The other thing was I had to learn early that we both like steak, and I like mine medium rare, and she likes well done. Well, I solved it really early. I put hers on. I don't even touch mine. I let hers go to charcoal practically, and then I put mine on, and then we can eat together. That's right. I say it's called sacrificed meat is what it is. All right, so what are you looking forward to this? What have you seen on this team? Did you watch the Altus Guthrie game at all?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you kind of know what's coming, right? I mean, they're going to throw the ball all over the field, and they're back at home, and they kind of want to take some punishment out on you because they lost that game to Guthrie in a very close overtime game. So what are you guys going to have to do to spoil that on the road?
We just got to improve better every day at practice and get ready.
Okay, get ready for it. Coach, we're going to come back to you. Do you want to do the story first and then break down X's and O's, or you want to break down who they are and then go to the story?
We can do the story first.
Okay, do the story. Okay, a Coach Reed story because I'm anxious to hear this. Okay.
First of all, me and Jeremy met about, at this point, I think it's 10 years ago. We've been pretty good friends because in 6A1 when he was at UConn, nobody liked him because he ran the flex bone. You know what I mean? He was cutting people at team camp. We laugh about it all the time. But nobody, when he came in, nobody was running the flex bone. So he took a program that was really struggling and really turning it around just because of how different their offense was.
Right.
So this leads into the story, right? So we I would probably say Jamin might have been, he probably was 11 years old, like 10 or 11 years old. So our youth league teams were playing 7-on-7 against each other. And I noticed the kid can throw the ball pretty good, man. So me and Jeremy talking, and Jamin standing there, and he's like, hey, Coach Williams, I said, hey, how you doing, man? You can throw the ball pretty good. He's like, yeah, listen, if my dad is still running the flex bone, I'm coming to play for you at Westmont. And I said, yeah. I'll take you. I didn't know that was going to be, obviously, for real. We both going to be in different places and end up seeing each other. But, man, tell you something, that dude is doing a great job throwing that football, man.
As a freshman.
He grew up. And that joker was a little bitty when I first met him. Now he's not a little bitty no more, so – he's doing a great job.
Well, the other thing is, too, that I didn't know until this week, until Levi Tovar, who's our play-by-play announcer for the Altus Bulldogs, said that he wasn't originally supposed to be the quarterback. The quarterback had an injury.
Yeah.
He's a wide receiver, and I didn't get to see that, almost that tight end package, until the Guthrie game when they brought that kid in and threw to him, and he got a first down. I'm thinking, okay, I know he can throw, but now he can catch and he can run. And, oh, by the way, he's a freshman, so let's put all this other stuff. Well, our quarterback is just a freshman.
I told Jeremy, I said, you got him out there looking like Booby Miles, man. He can throw the ball. He can run the ball.
Yeah, he can catch the ball.
He can do everything. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know that. It's going to be a road game, and like I asked one of your players, they're loaded for bear right now because they're going to say, hey, we lost one when we thought we had it. We're going to be back at our place to finish this out before they even talk about Carl Albert. What do you expect to see from them outside of what we already saw all over the field as far as an all-aerial assault?
Yeah, it's basically Texas Tech from the early 2000s, man.
Yeah.
Pretty much what it is. I mean, I remember playing against Graham Harrell and Michael Crabtree and those guys out at Texas Tech, and, I mean, the game was 4.5 hours long, and they threw it 90 times a game, you know what I mean? So it's going to be, I mean, I don't even know if he got a run play. He's going to run it over just because I said that.
Well, no, he's going to have a quarterback run. I'll tell you that. The run's going to come from him.
The quarterback scramble is their
he's
run
got
play,
that.
But, I mean, what he does is does a good job of providing quick access throws for the kid. He makes quick decisions with the football. They run tempo, so it's going to be fast, you know what I mean? So being basic on defense and being able to line up and stop those quick access throws and then getting to him and putting him down when you get there. That's the other thing, too. He's really good about breaking tackles and getting in the scramble situation and then finding people late. So he don't got a lot of weaknesses in the game right now. That's going to be, which is crazy to say because most of freshman quarterbacks, they're going to throw. Right. They're going to throw. I've never seen a freshman quarterback throw more touchdown passes than interceptions. Usually it's really lopsided. Right. And they get better. The things move
gradually
in different directions as they get older, but. This kid's starting off at a very, very high level. You know what I mean?
Well, he's a coach's son too, and I mean, there is something about coach's son.
100%.
You've got one coming, and then we're going to have the same expectations from him too.
He better be one of the best linemen anybody's seen.
When he's ready, he's going to be ready, right? Because he's going to hear it in the truck. So
defensively, they move around a lot. I think they a little bit undersized, but it doesn't matter because they play really fast. Yeah. They do a lot of moving up front. They try to confuse your offensive line and with a lot of twists and stunts and. They're going to play the 3 high safety defense, which means they're going to try to cut down on the big plays. So being able to sustain drives, being able to stay in it, not get false start penalties from the movement and stuff like that is going to be huge. We get on a couple of big drives where we 10, 12 plays, where we cut some time off, limiting their time on offense. That's probably the best way to get them.
Well, that's a lot of strategies. Stop the run or stop their offense. Let them sit on the sidelines, and you can run yours and run the clock and play keep away.
Put Jamie in the middle linebacker or something in. We'd be tackling people. So I don't know.
And is this your first time of going to? Well, I know there's 2 Rocks, and they argue both. Guthrie's an older community, so they're both built around the same time frame. They call theirs the Rock. Guthrie calls theirs the Rock. But nonetheless, you're going to the Rock. Have you ever been as a coach or player? Been there?
We played JV there earlier this year, so that was my first time there.
Okay.
Definitely historic. I mean,
yes.
Those 2 places got a lot of character. You know what I mean? They're not flashy. They don't look great, but I know the people around to take pride in those places. And stuff like that. So that's a big deal for them, for their communities and stuff like that. So hopefully, like I said, we're making mad.
Okay.
I'd like to get ran out of town this week if I could. That'd be great.
Okay, and then and you won't be on Coach Reed's Christmas card list if you end up doing that. So
no, not really. But one thing I will say, man, and I just want to make sure I say this: Coach Reed's wife had a little battle with cancer. She's since recovered and is doing great.
Yes.
It's a lot that goes into being a coach's wife, and a lot that goes into being a coach. Not being able to spend a lot of time with your family during the season and stuff like that. So I want to just make sure I give some special shout out to her for fighting and getting it done, and then for the family for like circling the wagons around her, and obviously Coach Reed for being just being who he is, great dude, taking care of his family and being able to do this at a high level. I think he's had a lot of success. I just told him last week, man, I'm really proud of you because we both kind of come from the same places. We've been up at 6A1, coming down to 5A. And him and been there for a few years now, like having some success and doing a good job, it's something to that. And not a lot of people tell people you're proud of, you know what I mean? Especially in our profession. So
that's true.
I'm definitely proud of dude. He's done a great job.
Lawton High Wolverines on the road to the Altus Bulldogs, and that should be a great matchup that you'll catch on Friday. Pregame at 6:30, and they kick off at 7 o'clock. Well, we got the Cash Bulldogs in the house. So we're going to close out with them at Southwest Oklahoma Brewery right after this timeout on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
All right, get back here at Southwest Oklahoma Brewery on 2nd Street as we have our coaches show as we continue on here. And great to have you along for us. You could come in person. We'd love to have you as a guest, too, and you can come anytime, whether it be lunch or dinner. Great barbecue, great atmosphere. Southwest Oklahoma Brewery, don't forget, coming up on Halloween, they got something for the adults later night, Friday night late for a costume contest, so much more. And then kids, they got the trunk or treat on Saturday. They've got a lot of stuff to go over. So I was excited to get you in here for the Cash Bulldogs. I mean, what an exciting win, a double overtime win with a storied program that has won state titles. You already know that. They have a lot of history with them. They got a lot of swag when they come into a place. Clinton Red Tornadoes come, and I'll tell you what, it was an exciting game. Well, why don't you give us kind of your retake of how that game went for you?
Yeah, going into the week, we told the kids, the entire week in preparation, I said, this is a really good matchup for us. I mean, just our style of play on defense and offense, it fits us really well. We've had really good success against Clinton the past 2 years in the games we played them. So we knew it was a good matchup. We knew we had a chance, but it's just I told our kids, I said, we're going to have to play 4 quarters. I said, Clinton's a good team. Every win they've had, they toughed it out for 4 quarters and end up winning. I said, we're going to have to finish the game, play 4 quarters. And, to these kids' testament, we go into the 4th quarter and they end up scoring with 3 minutes left and take the lead. And I finally saw the team that I knew that we could be all year, that, hey, we're going to go make this happen, and we made it happen.
Wow.
And when we got to overtime, there was no doubt. My dad coached football for a long time, and he was in the stands that night, and we talked about it too. He said, yeah, when we got to overtime, I knew we were going to win it.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah. And that just goes to these kids, man, they just played so hard. I mean, they had that belief for 4 quarters. We fought tooth and nail to get there and come back, and when we got there, we were going to go win it. We weren't going to let anything get in our way, and that's a testament to these kids. And that's why I told them, I said, you guys deserve this, man. I mean, we've been so close all year.
Yeah.
So we finally finished 4 quarters, and I told them, I said, that's who we can be when we play 4 quarters.
Yeah. Coach Tanner Thompson joins us for the Cash Bulldogs. An exciting win over Clinton last. Kind of got them reeling a little bit, and what they have to go up against. And they'll have Elgin next on their schedule. And so, you've got those situations. But I'm going to go back to what you said is, and I believe the same way of watching some of your games, is this is who you thought this team could be. And you'd see it in the first half of a lot of games. And I know you don't want to retro go back, man, woulda, coulda, shoulda, all the rest of that stuff. But they still believe in the process, still taking them through it. Hats off to you to kind of get them to still believe for 4 quarters, to put it in, and then finally get the results that you wanted with a win after all that. And that's a testament to you and your program and how you got these kids believing.
Right, and it just goes back to we talked about it. I think we've gotten better every week.
Right.
And I think it may just have been different areas and not as a whole. And we finally put a whole game together. I mean, I mean, offensively, Coach Abbott did a phenomenal job in preparing those guys. We had 500 yards of offense.
Wow.
Over 300 yards passing, almost 200 yards rushing. I mean, a total complete game on offense. I mean, that was a huge thing because we knew they have a really good quarterback and just a really good tailback. Then they moved the receiver. We knew defensively it would be tough to stop them over and over and over, so we knew we'd have to move the football on offense, and we did just that. And we had big plays, the big plays that we were kind of missing throughout the beginning of the season, just the big chunk plays that we needed, and we were able to get those, and it made a big difference. And that's what I'm so proud of. It's just the kids. I told our kids, I said, and anybody, I feel like a lot of kids in their position wouldn't prepare like they should. They wouldn't work out like they should throughout the week, and they've never done that. They've always stepped in the weight room and got after it. We've always got stepped on the field starting on Monday, and we worked all week to prepare. And every week, even when things weren't going our way, they did that and continued. And I think Thursday night was just that coming all to fruition, them just staying the process and understanding that good things are going to come our way if we keep working.
Coach Manning wore a pullover, and this is pullover weather, a little cool out there. You like this kind of stuff this time of year?
Finally. I'm telling you, I was a little worried when we got to mid-October and we're still in the 90s.
Yeah, I know. We weren't getting our fall yet. It's kind of. I'll save this matchups for this week for last, but we got a couple of players. First one, grab your mic. Give us your name, grade, and what position you play.
Mario Famero, running back, linebacker, senior.
Offense, defense, which one you like best?
Offense. Oh, no, defense.
Oh, really? Okay. So you like to give the hit as opposed to receive the hit. Okay. Tell us how thrilling it was coming off that field with that win last week.
Oh, man, it was exciting. Seeing the student section storm the field after a win like that, it's amazing. And
well, and over Clinton, too. I mean, it's just because of their storied tradition, their history, and everything else, it's because they've been dominant for so long in that district. Let's talk about this from Coach's standpoint. He said he knew at the end of the game, going into overtime, you were going to win. When did you guys feel that because you had to go through two of them, when did you get that feeling that you guys had this?
Yeah, I mean, I always knew because the last defensive session before overtime, we stopped them. That's when we put our mentality onto them, and we basically showed them that we were going to win.
You think you guys are coming around to being the team is what Coach said that he knew all along you could be, and it just kind of took you a while to get there. Do you think you've kind of arrived to that point?
I think we always have been, but it's just the ball has not rolled our way in some games.
Right. Well, and it's kind of the nature of two halves. First half, you say, wow, and then the second half, you say, what happened? Those kind of things. How would you like to improve getting at the position that you're in? What do you want to get better at?
Better at keeping my calm in the situations, definitely. Because I feel like a lot of people look up to me on the team, and then when they see that I get mad, frustrated, or I'm down about when we're losing, then they'll probably
Yeah, they feed off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You got a guy next to you, so let's grab the mic there. Give us your name, grade, and what position you play.
Quanah Famero, sophomore. I play DN.
Okay. Pretty nice size for a sophomore. You still got some growing to do. Coach is probably going to be happy about that, right?
Yes, sir.
Put a little bit of weight on you, a little bit of that. So what's this sophomore season been as far as, a lot of guys are, playing JV, and, you got varsity experience here. So talk a little bit about that, being in that position at this grade.
It's been fun. It's not really I had to step up starting as a sophomore.
A little eye-opening from your freshman year, right, to
yes,
now
sir.
all of a sudden be put in a little bit more of a responsible role, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How would you like to improve going forward?
Just getting better in my position and not folding under pressure when I get tired and late in the game.
What's your favorite food?
I really like orange chicken.
Oh, really? Where's the best place to get it?
I like Panda, or I forgot the name of the place, but it's in Lawton.
Okay. And what is it you do on your free time? What are some of your hobbies?
Play video games.
What's the video game you play? Your go-to?
Probably Overwatch.
And does any of the other teammates play that?
Yeah.
And who's the best at doing it?
Me.
That's what I figured. I said every time I ask it. Only one time did someone not say themselves. So, okay, so you've been I always put that on a test because then everybody else can challenge you with that to make sure. Okay, Coach, this week, kind of give us X's and O's and the breakdowns of what you have to do for a cash win.
Yeah, Douglas, like their record's not, not great right now, but I mean they've shown they've gotten better since last year. You can see it on film. They have some really explosive athletes that can hurt you. I mean, you look at their game against Elgin. They had some first quarter. They had some big plays on them, and Elgin's a really good team. So I mean, for us, it's always about we told our kids, I said, we're not looking at the record. We're looking at improving, going into this week, being our best, and on both sides of the ball, they have guys that can hurt you, and just. For us, it's just going in and being our best on what we do and improving off last week. And like I said, just understanding the process and day to day, we want to be our best. And then the next day, we want to be our best and just stacking our days and letting that preparation go into Friday and helping us.
Anything to the fact of what coaches will use as a trap game. You just come off an exciting double overtime win against Clinton. You got Elgin as the last game of the season, which is the big rivalry. There's a trophy with it and all the rest of that stuff. How do you avoid just exactly that where they don't, Douglas, what do they got? They're going to come up and try to sting you in a trap game there. So how do you avoid that?
Right. It's, a lot of emotions after Clinton, so you're coming off a high, like you said. But, for us, it's we got to come back, get our focus back. Like I tell our kids every week, it's, we have to have extreme focus, discipline in our preparation. And that's no different with Douglas because if you don't have that this week, Douglas will show up. We'll go up to Douglas, and they're good enough to hurt us in different areas on both offense and defensively. So, for us, it's just coming into our preparation this week with extreme focus and detail with how we do things and preparing for Friday.
Well, congratulations on the great win. Good luck with you and Douglas, and way to kind of finish this out on a high note where I know that when these conversations had and you were kind of in that stretch where, we're so close. We're almost there. And then you get one of those wins, and then you get some other positive things coming your way. You get a big win like this. So that's the way to kind of end out where you're at.
Yeah.
Okay. Cash Bulldogs, and you can catch them on the network as well. And kind of a weird, bizarre thing, and I'll tell you, the one person that emailed us and said, hey, can you get those little icons off the screen? Just to kind of tell you what the reference point was, is the storm that was coming up, a little bit of wind and rain and all the stuff that they moved to a Thursday. Clinton's camera toppled over into our camera, knocked ours over. Ours was out of commission, but we have two cameras. We have a backup camera, and Clinton's, I didn't think, they never even had theirs on. So they didn't even get video up at all. And so we were lucky to use our second camera, which they, of course, with not using it, they didn't know how to go in and take the settings off, because you still got to see the game with the with all of the stuff that's usually in the viewfinder that's on the screen. But I guess little or no stream is better than no stream, and I think that we kind of outcapped Clinton with that. So just an explanation on that. They got a new camera up. We won't have that for this week, but just kind of an explanation of kind of after the 10 years I've been doing this year, and I thought was this year to celebrate with our anniversary, there has been more weird stuff that's happened to us, in your crew and our crews, and it's been it's technology. It works great when it works, but then when it doesn't, you always kind of see where we're at. So we appreciate your patience with that. We'll close out at the Southwest Oklahoma Brewery, and we'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network. All right, one last time here at Southwest Oklahoma Brewery, we'd like for you to join us each and every Tuesday. Great barbecue. If you've not had it, from the ribs to the pulled pork, brisket, chicken, the cut sausage links, the regular one, which they do in-house, or the habanero with the little spice and cheese in it. I love that. Huge pretzel. They got really great wings. You can have them dry rub, or you can have them with a sauce, and it comes with different things. All the sides that come with it. It's just an incredible experience, and they've got the covered patio out back. They've also got an area where you can play with, they got their furniture there. They got Connect Four. They've got cornhole. They've got so much inside, outside. Don't forget Halloween night, a costume party for the adults on Friday on Halloween night. And then Saturday you got a trunk or treat with some of the other vendors that are close by that are going to be involved in that. Don't forget, you can start ordering barbecue by the pound, and you can get orders to go. Catering with holidays coming up, you want to include them in your plans. Southwest Oklahoma Brewery over here at 104 Southwest 2nd Street, where we're downtown. Well, that has been this edition. Already week 9 coming up. This is in the books. We'll only have one more regular season game left, and then we'll be talking playoffs, and we'll talk about that next week as well. You've been watching a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network. You have a great and safe weekend, and coming up, all of our games. One game on Thursday with MacArthur, everybody else on Halloween night. Check us out. Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices, Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. If you're on Facebook, give us a like and give us a follow there, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.